Jillian, 396 miles, 24 hours. How's that been?
It's been like he's done it in a furnace, an inferno. It's been, I think, one of the most challenging 24 hours on the bike. The heat coming off the road is unimaginable and indescribable.
Yeah, like it's burning the back of my neck at the minute just standing here. I can't imagine somebody riding through that. That's such intensity.
It is, I mean, running to do his bottle handoffs, the soles of my feet are burning through really thick rubber sandals, and you know, he's complaining about the soles of his feet just being absolutely on fire, and that gets incredibly painful. So we have stopped and done very quick, efficient ice baths on his feet. We are making it up roadside to keep him cold and as comfortable as possible, and he's pushed on as Joe pushes on.
Now, I heard you were making TRIFUEL slushies. We're at the stage of making slush puppies out of TRIFUEL.
We are. It's a great technique. You put a little bit of water in, then you put your ice in, and then you sprinkle the TRIFUEL on the crushed ice, then more water, and shake it until like a martini, and it's going down. I'm so pleased at how his hydration and fueling is going.
The first day he was a bit jumped the gun maybe a little bit, the standard Joe attack.
Yep.
But now he's kind of calmed down, he's in the kind of zone, hydration's getting better, core temperature is lower.
Core temperature is managed, and I think the heat has kind of mitigated the Joe attack methodology. I mean, heat is strong. This kind of environment is simply stronger. It's more extreme than anything you find anywhere else. So it rules. And Joe has to, you know, thread the needle through his capability in this environment. And he's systematically doing that. Mentally, he's incredibly strong. I don't know how he does it, and I know him really well. I don't know how he does it.
The hydration and core temperature they're your two main focuses. What happens if we get this wrong?
If we get this wrong, it's the fastest way to a DNF, and that is for sure. I mean, it is so easy to lose a significant percentage of your body weight in this kind of heat. He's probably sweating 2+ liters out. Wow. And he's probably taking in about 1.8 liters, both of electrolytes, and we're upping our electrolytes, and fluid itself. Everything going in is cold to get out of his stomach and into his intestine so it can be absorbed. If we get that wrong and his body weight loss rises to 10% and upwards, you know, it's not a good picture. And what that does, suddenly he's sweating a lot, and then when he stops sweating, that's when the real trouble starts, because his core temperature will go up, and that's not something you can deal on the roadside. That is something you need to deal with in a medical environment, and we're aware of that. We're managing it. We've been aggressive with the ice vest, as probably our audience have seen.
Yeah.
I mean, you put one of those things on and they are dry in 20 minutes. It's just incredible.
Ice seems to be the biggest factor here. We're just getting the ice constantly, and different types of ice.
And you know, it's been the most challenging thing for me. This race has been keeping up with the demand for bottles, keeping up with the demand of making slushies, getting them out the window. Some go over his neck, or pure water goes over his neck. Then I have to make more water. I have to keep them cool, keep the bottles sterilized, because they're moving in and out so fast. So plus I need to get calories into him as well, which that has been brilliant. You know, I'm measuring his blood glucose and his blood ketones as a measure of how much body fat he's actually having to access. It's not that much, which means we're keeping on top of the carbohydrate demand. So I'm going to say I think it's going well. Joe is getting ironed out by the heat. Everyone is getting ironed out by the heat. It's he or she who gets through this heat will be in the real race, which is not going to happen for a couple of days. And I can't think more than 5 hours ahead. I really can't, because it's unimaginable that this is just 24 hours.
What are we doing at the minute? Taking a little siesta.
Yes, Joe.
In the heat of the
day, which is prudent. There's no point. I mean, we've been going solidly for 24 hours, and Joe has been pushing on. Believe his average speed before the heat really got going in the last couple of hours was about 18 miles an hour. Now that is fast. That's very, very fast. So. This was a planned sleep stop, just like we did in Race Around Ireland. You go down, you stop, you shower, you have a warm feed. He's had his good old spuds and chicken noodle soup, salty broth that he loved, and then we roll him over and he goes straight to sleep.
Jillian, what's next then? You're just going to keep managing the heat?
That's all we can do. I mean, there is no other strategy. You got to get through this heat, and I've never thought Joe would say it, but getting him into altitude is what we need to do. We need to get through the heat and get him up high.
Lovely. Jillian Mooney,